Hello everybody. Happy Saturday. We're going to be doing a nice leisurely flight again here from Las Vegas to San Diego aboard our Southwest ZIBO 737-800. And let me just see if I get everything set up on my proper other screen here. Make sure that we're streaming. Just want to double check the stream here. And it says we are live. Good deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and get inside the airplane, get it warmed up, and get ready to go here. Like I said, we're going to Las Vegas to San Diego. Flight time is going to be about 45-50 minutes or so. We'll see how fast we can get there, and we're going to be doing an RNAV approach into San Diego. It's a little interesting one. We'll see how it goes. It's only my third time doing RNAV approaches in the 737. So let's get started in here. Well, let's see what's first. First off, we get some ground power on. Get our battery on. Standby power on. Turn our emergency exit lights to armed. Get our IRSs aligning. Turn our beacon on. Nav lights to steady. And we'll start firing up our GPU here. So we'll do a fuel pump on here. Or APU, sorry. Alright, waiting for that light to come on. We'll put the smoking sign on. Seatbelt light on. Let the flight crew get everybody seated. Alright, let's go put our route in here. Position in it, reference airport KLAS, Las Vegas. Don't recall what gate we're at, but let's go ahead and set our position here. Just go over to the next page. Grab our GPS, come back, drop that in there. There we go. And we've got our fast align on, so we're all set there. Our route is going to be, let's put our destination in, San Diego. Performance here. We'll check the defaults here. I know we got tons of fuel, reserve, we got a crap load. Cost index, I haven't quite figured out what the cost index does. I think it changes or may affect the N1 limits and all that kind of stuff. Flight level, we're going to go 260. N1 limits, again, actual 26K, not sure. I don't know. We'll just take the defaults there. Takeoff flaps are going to be 5. We'll take the default CG here, trim. Let's go ahead and trim up while we're looking down. 5 something. 5.5 is good. Whoa. Set our V speeds. Go over to departure. We are going to be doing a broach 6 departure. We're going to be taking off runway 19 left. Winds are light and variable. 29 palms transition. We'll hit execute there. Arriving into San Diego. Let's see, Barrett 5, right? Yeah, Barrett 5 arrival. 29 palms transition. Landing RNAV 27. We'll execute that. Take a look at our legs here. They should all be, we shouldn't have any discontinuity there. So taking off 19 left, you can see our route right here. follow all these waypoints, broach to 29 Palms and into San Diego. Perfect. Alright, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. We'll leave the speeds as are. 26,000.784. We could go a little faster, but we'll just leave that. We'll leave it as is. Alright, let's get our pushback set up. We are going to go... Taking my best guess here, I think we're going to go like this. So we get pushed back all the way to here.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, I am ready, I think.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, as the tow is driving up, let's get ready to start engines. And our APU is on. We'll go to APU power. Put all of our fuel pumps on, including the center one, since we got a ton of fuel in there. Not modifying the fuel at all. Alright, I'm going to leave all this. I don't know what to set these for, so we'll just leave them as is. Never had a problem there. While we're looking up here, I'll get my panel lights on. We'll get the cabin utilities and seats on. Leave all this. Window heat, I think we're not going to need it today. Probe heat we'll hold off on right now. Turn our electricals on. And put our APU bleed on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is set. We're going to 26,000. Auto. Very good. Let's see if we can see this guy. There he is. Let him get hooked up. Start our pushback. While we're here, let's take a look out and see.
So connected and bypass pin inserted.
If I got this, so we're going to back up over here, and yeah, perfect. And we're going to be taking off runway 19 left. This runway right here. All right, brakes are released. Let's get him pushing us back.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
And we're going to start our engines. We'll go, let's see here. Double check the panel, make sure everything looks good. Up and down that panel. Alright, packs off. And let's go ahead and start 1 and 2. See our N2 coming up. Waiting for about 20 on the N2, and we'll introduce fuel. There we go. Alright, and while we're down here, we'll double check our trim tab again is set. Blocking the traffic there as we get pushed back. Do that truck. Ah! We got hit by a truck. Yeah, one day X-Plane, I guess we'll have a A little bit of a patch there for some of that stuff. Alright, let's get back in the cockpit here. And our engines are started up, so we will go to engine generators. Turn our APU off. Turn our packs back on. We'll turn our bleeds on left and right. APU bleed off. Alright, at this time we'll put our probe heat on. Yaw dampener. Come on. There we go. And no lights on here. Everything looks good. So let's see. Our initial speed 205. We'll come over here and put that in the autopilot. And we're altitude here, we're just going to put our cruise altitude, if I can grab it right. 26,000. Come on. 26,000. Alright, while I'm looking down
Operation
here.
complete. Set parking brake.
Let's get our panel lights on. Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Get our lights on. I think I got my lights on there. Got our lights down here. You know, we didn't get our ATIS. Let me double check our ATIS really quick. Looking at my other monitor, ATIS is airport diagram. Let's see, what is our ATIS frequency? Ground clearance. No, our ATIS 118.05. 118.05. Let's disconnect our tow there, and we'll let him get out of our way. 05. 118.05. Should have went the other way. 05. 118.
North Las Vegas Information, Quebec. 1700 Zulu weather. Wind 330 at 8. Visibility
Tow is
more than
disconnected
10.
and bypass bin has been removed.
Clear.
Hand signal on the right.
Temperature 11.
We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
10. Altimeter 3037. Arriving
3037,
runway 30
wow.
right. Departing runway 30 left. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Let's just double check this. I want to double check. What's our field elevation here? Looking up our field elevation. What is it? Elevation 2180.
North Las Vegas
Right around
Information,
2180.
1700
Alright, that's close
Zulu
enough.
weather. Wind 330 at 8. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear.
We'll get that off of there. Alright, and I think our tow is disconnected. Yep. So we are ready to taxi. Do a final check here. Flight director on. We'll arm our auto throttles. And let's zoom in a little bit on our departure here. I think we're ready to go. Alright. Brake off, I think. Let's just double check that. Sometimes I always forget. On, off. My view set up a little bit. Come back up here on my other monitor. Well, we got a couple people watching, so welcome aboard. We're going Las Vegas, San Diego. Nice short trip. Let's get our taxi started. To the right monitor here. Flaps to 5. Let's see, we're gonna, what are we doing? We are taking off 19, but the actual winds do not jive with what we got on the flight simulator here. So flight simulator, we actually got a little bit of a tailwind here. Not a problem, 8 knots. Just we'll make sure we take the full runway. Now we're actually going to go to the right here, going to cut across a little bit. Stay out of the way of these trucks here. Take a quick look here, just make sure we're taxiing in the right spot. Yep, we are. Nice view of the strip. Try to stay on our taxiway center line here. Not doing a very good job, but in real life you do kind of cut across there. Alright, we'll go all the way to the end of the runway here. We will hold here for a second and make sure we're all set for takeoff. Alright, we will set our auto braking to reject at takeoff. Let's take a quick look over here, make sure everything else is set. Spoilers are down, flaps are set. I think we're clear for takeoff. Alright, we'll go landing lights on, taxi lights off. Put our strobes on. So simulator, we do have a little bit of a tailwind, like I said.
19 left.
We'll be going for a full power takeoff here. I'll do that manually. Make sure we get up to speed nice and quick.
On runway 19 left.
All right, let's bring the power up. Rotating. Gear up. Hold it about 15 degrees. (1,000 feet). First notch of flaps up. We'll engage our speed. Alright, and let's engage our RNAV and VNAV. Get the rest of our flaps up. We're at 2,000 feet. Say goodbye to Vegas. Flaps are coming up. Put the gear handle to off, like our little jog right over here. This is ORTHO4XP photorealistic scenery throughout the entire route. Let's keep an eye on what our navigation's doing here. Taking us up to 7,000 right now. To Roper intersection. And once we get there, we continue climbing to 10,500. And start speeding up, that looks like. Road intersection going up to 11,500. Now we can turn our landing lights off at this time. Go ahead and zoom out, take a look at our route here. Pretty short trip. Let's just double check everything here. We're at 10,000 feet. Let's take a look at our pressurization. That looks good. So everything is working there. Let's see how our progress is here. Actually, we're in climb. Cruise altitude at Boch. 13,000 feet. Look at our progress here. Let's see, we should be arriving at 1920, just about 50 minutes from now. 55 minutes or so. I forgot to put the yoke on there. Usually like to get that out of the way while I'm doing the flight planning and turning up my lights. We'll keep a view like that, and keep an eye on our, you know, I like to see my legs on here. A little bit of music for the flight. Nice view of the desert. Nice clear out here. Out west today. I will put the seatbelt signs off. Should be a smooth flight. That music kind of loud. Hard to tell here. Let's see. A little lower. There we go. $26,000. We are almost to our top of climb here. Let's go ahead and set our second, our co-pilot's altimeter there. And we'll take a quick look on my other screen. Let's see what our arrival is going to look like. San Diego. Since it's such a short flight, I'm going to take a look at our nav 27. We'll get our ATIS set at least. 134.8. And the final approach course 275. 275. We'll set both of them. And ATIS is going to be
North Las Vegas information for that
134.8.
1700 Zulu weather. Wind 330 at 8. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 11. Dew point -10.
134.8.
Altimeter 3037.
San
Arriving
Diego
runway
ATIS
30 right.
134.8. Okay, that is correct. And, you know, we're going to set our localizer just for the heck of it, too. Let's take a look at that. Just in case we got to switch from the RNAV and just go localizer only. We should not, but 110.9. All right, so that's set correctly. Almost at our altitude. We'll start picking up speed here for our cruise. Now I think it had it set for cruise at 0.8 .784, but I don't know. I've been having issues with this where it doesn't actually come up to .784. It actually goes to like .73 or something like that. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. You know, I mean, it's got our speed, got our LNAV, got our VNAV path. We'll see what it comes up to here. Double check my lights here. Logo can come off. It's daytime. They can see our logo. Position lights are up in strobe and nav. Beacons on. Wing lights are off. Wheel well I don't think I ever use. Landing lights are off. Taxi lights are all off. Double check our pressurization here. Everything looks good up here. Alright, so while we look out the view over here, I don't know. Let me know on chat which view you want. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break here. If you're watching online on YouTube, so you got one person watching at least for right now. Let me know. Let me know which view you want. You want a wing view? Dash view? Don't know. We lost our one viewer. Okay. I will pick that. How about... Let's see what we got looking up here. Do we have anything interesting coming up? How about right there? That looks nice. Alright. I will be right back. southwestern desert. Let's take a look at our route. Let's see where we're at. Almost over to 29 Palms. This little jog here over to 29 Palms. On either side of here, you've got a military operating area on this side, another one here with some restricted airspace off to the right. That's why we kind of jog through this little corridor here. Yeah, see, it's holding our speed 0.745, whereas we planned 0.784. I'm not sure why it does that. Even on here, see, I think it's holding like our indicated airspeed here. I don't know if I can change that. Let me see here. At 26,000 feet, we can get all the way up to 320, 330. Let's see if we can change that to 330. Just curious. 330 slash. Nope, not letting me do it over here. Maybe I gotta put the full thing in. Let's try 330 slash 0.800. Okay, there we go. That'll get us up to speed. It looks like it's not holding the, it's holding the indicated airspeed, which is a little cockeyed. It should be holding the Mach number here at altitude. Well, at least we got it working here. Cruise, and we will be in cruise. There we go, look at it, updated it, nice, 0.80. And is that the Salton Sea up ahead? I believe so. Heading south. Coming up to 29 Palms. Here we go, make a little quick turn. See if we can see 29 Palms. There is a little tiny airport at 29 Palms. I flew into there in a Cessna 152 from San Diego. I was working on my private pilot's license at the time. This was back in the mid-80s. And I was on my last long cross-country flight. And I flew from, let me see here, I went from San Diego to 29 Palms. I landed at 29 Palms, and man, it's literally like one runway and like a tool shed with like a fuel pump. That's about it. At least back in the 80s, that's all there was. So I think I see it right there underneath the engine in the exhaust. Whoop. Get the right button here. There we go. Yeah, that's 29 Palms. That's about it. And then when I took off from 29 Palms, it just so happened that we were having a partial eclipse. So I don't remember exactly what year it was. Let me think about this. It was actually, it was late 80s. It was 89, I think. Yeah, it must have been about 89, maybe 1990. Can't remember. And let's take a look at here. Is that 29 Palms? It should be. Put our airports up here. Take a look over here. And we got 29 Palms and Daggett. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, Thermal, Palm Springs, 29 palms. Yeah, I think just off our wing here, yeah, that is 29 palms. Anyway, so yeah, when I took off, I was climbing out pretty much on this same corridor that we're taking right now, because I was heading, no, actually I was heading west, because I was going over to Blythe. So I headed, or sorry, east. I was going over to the Colorado River, then straight down the Colorado River to Yuma was my next stop. And I remember climbing out and thinking, it was a day just like this, nice and clear. I remember thinking, it seems a little dark, and then it hit me, oh yeah, there's like a partial eclipse going on. It was just like maybe like only 50% or something, so it just looked a little bit darker than it should be for, you know, like 12 noon or whatever time it was. And that long cross country actually ended with a little bit of excitement. Landed at Yuma after 29 palms, and then went to stopped at the terminal there, or the FBO. Ended up taking off behind a DC-10 in some wake turbulence. That was fun. Tried to spin me around a little bit. And was heading back to San Diego from Yuma. I was climbing out at like, I don't know, 8,000 feet or something like that. And in the Imperial Valley, as you can see kind of up ahead here, it's all, let's see here. You can see there's a lot of agriculture. I was actually climbing out this way from Yuma, which is down here someplace, climbing out this way. Someplace, I'm guessing right about here, back there. And I was at like 8,000 feet or 9,000 feet or something like that. I know, in a 152, so it was like chug, a chug, a chug, a chug. And they were burning the field, so whatever time of the year it was, maybe the fall or something, I guess. They were burning the fields, you know, just to get rid of the dried up stuff. So there was a smoke layer that I went through. Pretty heavy smoke layer. At least this is the theory from the mechanic. It fouled up either the spark plugs or the cylinders a little bit as I passed through it, and it ingested a lot of the ash and stuff. I started losing engine power. Didn't lose the engine or anything, but I could not maintain altitude at whatever altitude I was at. So I ended up doing a precautionary landing at Holtsville, which is sort of an old World War II base. It was pretty much abandoned at the time, but it's a big, huge base out there in a desert. Or runway. There's not much of a base there. It's basically just a couple of trailers. The locals down there were using it for a racetrack. And managed to land on a runway, taxi up to like a little trailer, and there was actually a girl there. Her father sort of ran the racetrack or something. Called my flight school in San Diego at Gillespie Field. They sent out a mechanic. He flew out in another 152, which I flew back to San Diego, and he took a look at the original one. Which by the time I got on the ground, everything was cleared out, you know, and the plane was perfectly fine, so he flew that one back. That was my excitement during my long cross country. So we're almost at our top of descent here. We will keep an eye on our airspeed. It should drop us down here. Don't want to overspeed, since we're kind of towards the top of our arc here, or tape. Alright, I'm going to step away just for a second. I'm going to go grab the dog, let him inside. I'll be right back. Alright, got the co-pilot back in the cockpit there. Looks like we're making our turn here over the Coachella Valley. It's the Jacqueline Cochran Airport. It used to be called Thermal back in my day. Heading for the Sultan waypoint there. And we'll turn south again, pick up our approach into San Diego. FMC P reset. Okay. I'm sure that's telling me something. Is it our altitude? Yeah, probably our altitude because we're still holding there. So we'll go down to 4,000 feet. Our leisurely descent. I am going to look up exactly the procedure here, but I'm guessing it's telling me this is what I want to set. Reset that, and I'll start our descent down. I'm still learning how to use the VNAV, LNAV portion of the aircraft here. Let's see how it holds our airspeed there. Maybe we'll do a little spoilers. No, it's dropping us down, I think. Sultan Sea. I think this is the Bombay Beach, or I can't remember which side Bombay Beach is on. A little development area. Someplace. Yeah, Bombay Beach is over here. That little jog. We'll put our seatbelt signs back on as we come into our approach. I'm going to take one more quick bathroom break. I drank a lot of coffee here, and we'll get back in the plane for our descent and approach into San Diego. You can already see it in the distance. Alright, you can see San Diego off in the distance. We're going to be landing, let's take a look here. Yeah, there's the bay. Here's Coronado. Airport is right there. Downtown in the airport. Alrighty, let's get set up for our approach here. So we can at least put our auto braking on 2.
San Diego INTL information Romeo. 1800 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 19, dew point 11. Altimeter 3015. Arriving runways 0927, departing runways 0927. Advise on initial contact you have Romeo.
Alright, we got Romeo, got our altimeter set 3011. Co-pilot. He likes to wear his collar in the cockpit here. A little bit of haze here coming out over the mountains from the desert into Southern California. Yes, co-pilot, I know. Seriously, he's rolling around in the co-pilot seat, making weird noises. So, like I said, I have only flown the RNAV into the VNAV into, well, RNAV approach, whatever you want to call it, but using the VNAV portion of it a couple of times at the San Diego, and I did notice that it does tend to bring you in a little bit low, below the, the VASI, PAPI, or whatever it's called, lights. So we'll actually hand fly the airplane for the very final portion of the approach there. San Diego's got an interesting approach anyway. I mean, if you've ever flown into San Diego, make sure you get the left seat, left side of the airplane when you fly into San Diego. Note, if you're ever coming to visit, because you get a nice view of the bay and downtown right as you go by. And the approach goes right over the kind of old town area of San Diego, right over Balboa Park, and then it drops down right, the airport's right at the bay. So for some reason the vertical guidance in at least this airplane, in X-Plane 11, tends to almost want to crash you into the little buildings down at the end. I think it's called the Laurel Street Garage. And there's actually a big building on this approach here in X-Plane on the scenery, right about where the garage would be, but like I said, it tends to bring you down maybe about 500 feet, a little bit too low on the approach, so we'll hand fly that portion of it. And let's see, we are on our plan here. All right, 12,000, right where we want to be here. Looks like it's going to capture us, take us down to 8,900 here. Zoom in a little bit more over to Barrett. Heading south, just over, let me see, where are we? Am I seeing any recognizable landmarks here? I think, are we kind of over El Cajon? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so we're over, this is El Cajon. This is, let me double check that. Where's the airport? That might be off a little bit. Maybe we already went by that. I thought that was San Vicente Reservoir. No, actually, I think that's farther up over here. Yeah, this is San Vicente under my mouse right there. El Cajon is right here. I think. A hazy day here in Southern California. We had a little bit of rain the other day, like the first time in like I don't even remember when. And we're getting a little bit of a heat wave for Thanksgiving. Should be about 90 degrees in the valleys. So if you're coming out to San Diego for Thanksgiving, bring your shorts and t-shirts. Making our turn to our intercept for the last portion of the approach. I think it's slowing us down to 250 still. Going to hold us at 250 here. We'll start doing flaps once we actually get onto the approach, so that'll drop our airspeeds down. Passing 9,000 feet. What is that? Looks like a little private strip over there. I don't recall ever seeing that one. So let's see what we got here. This looks like our approach, our RNAV approach. Diamonds are lit up. Still haven't gotten any data there. Our course, though, it looks good. Still highlighted at 4,000, so it looks like it wants us to hold at 4,000 until we get onto the approach portion of it. There we go. Localizer and vertical nav is now coming in. 275, that's what we got set. Don't need the station, it'll keep the airports on. Maintain our speed here until Vida intersection or Vida waypoint. As soon as we adjourn, we'll get set up for the final approach here. You can see Tijuana over the border right there. This is the border right here. Tijuana on the other side. Get my view set up here before we do our turn. I think our approach is starting to come in. I'm going to go ahead and hit approach. And we'll let that portion of the flight director take over. We're making a turn here, so let's go ahead and drop flaps 5 degrees. It should start slowing us down. We'll give it a little bit little bit of speed brakes here, get us slowed down. Well, not a little bit. I got them full up. Let's take a look at our distance. 15.5 DME out. We are pretty much lined up on the approach. A little bit low. We'll hold at 4,000. So we intercept it. Speed now at 160, or coming down to 160. We'll keep our speed up a little bit here. We don't need to be at 160 right this second. Spoilers coming down. As soon as we hold here at 4,000, we should get our speed bled off. Alright, let's get set up. Landing lights on. Capturing our vertical guidance. Landing lights are on. I don't think we're going to need our spoilers anymore, so we'll go ahead and arm those for landing. Make sure our seatbelt signs are on. I think we are ready for the approach. We'll go, where are we? 10 miles out. We'll go flaps 15. Nice view of south side of San Diego Bay there. Like I said, we'll see how this VNAV does here. Otherwise, I'll have to take over just at the tail end of it. 2,500 feet, 9.1 DME. Yeah, Grego TBHD, hello again. Flying into San Diego again. I want to play around with this vertical nav here in this plane. Have you thought of VATSIM yet? Yeah, actually I did sign up already. I'm going to get that set up here probably after this flight and see how I do on there. I had to download a couple things, so I'm still not. I did sign up for it. But I still got to get everything set up. So hopefully I'll do that right after this flight and some lunch, and maybe be doing some VATSIM flying later this evening. All right, coming up to 6.5 on the DME. Starting to see the buildings in downtown up here out of nowhere. Alright, there's 6 DME coming up. We'll drop the gear. Go to our approach flaps, which for San Diego, I'm going to use 40. Kill the music here for the approach. Get everything set up with my controls here, my throttle. And you can see we're sort of on the, got the lights, white over red. We're not over, but white and red, looking good here. Then it kind of tends to take us down below it. I'm going to go ahead and take over the throttles at this point. starts slowing down. And let's see how this does. Get slowed down a little bit fast here.
Approaching 27.
I'm going to take the plane myself because it does want to drop us down a little bit too much here. Right over Balboa Park. That'll help us get slowed up. Thrust reversers out, or engaged. 80 knots. Thrust reversers off. Get yourselves cleaned up here.
3,000 feet remaining.
Welcome to San Diego. Landing light off, taxi light on. 152 feet per minute, not bad.
Thank you for flying with us today. We hope you had a pleasant experience, and we look forward to welcoming you again on another flight.
I don't recall where the Southwest planes park. We are flying a Southwest livery right now, but we're going to park right over here and go outside, take a look at that approach. Our landing light off so we don't blind anybody, or taxi light I mean. Probably running into a couple trucks here. Alrighty. Let's go take a look at a replay there. Yeah, the only one I downloaded for liveries is this Southwest one. So actually, this one here. I downloaded this one, and I think I downloaded a British Airways because I'm going to do some Euro flying. Alright, let's see the replays here. Let's see, a little bit quicker. Alright, that's good right there. Hit play. Got some music going. Far out there. Okay, here we go. Balboa Park. Right there. And then over the 5 freeway. Get a couple other views here. Play. Right over those buildings. Yeah, a little off the center line. Just a tad. Yeah, you can get the British Airways livery. I just looked on xplane.org. Alright, well thanks for watching again. Tune in maybe later today. Like I said, I might be on VATSIM if I get it all set up properly. Get my ending theme music going. Yeah, a tiny bit long. I didn't think I was that far off the center line. Got to pay attention to that. Welcome to San Diego. Like I said, I should have VATSIM running hopefully later today, and I'll be doing another flight somewhere. Probably another short, hour-ish type flight. Till next time, goodbye.